Hey everybody, it's Jiggly Dad. This video is going to be about the second Battle of the Servers tournament that's being put on by Arkansas PvP server and PoGo Colliseum.
Jiggity, jiggity, jiggity that.
Coliseum staff approached me a week ago or so, and they were like, "Hey, are you guys going to do a Battle of the Servers too? And if not, can we steal it?" And I said, "You absolutely cannot steal it, but we can co-host. I don't like people stealing my tournaments."
Oh, Thomas.
So they just hopped on board, and our main goal in working together was to promote it because last time we didn't promote it at all, which was fine. It still grew into this like crazy thing we didn't expect it to grow into. But this time, it's really cool to have extra staff so that it's not my full-time job because that was so much time dedicated to it last time. So it's nice to have that help, and they're fun people. It's
Can-
so different this time too. The format is a lot more work. And I think people are noticing that, and it's kind of scaring some people because they're like, "Holy crap, this looks complicated," but it's not. It looks like a lot up front, but it's really not. So basically, what we're doing is teams of 5 from each server are going to compete in a double elimination bracket. So once you lose 2 rounds, you'll be out, and every round is going to be a different theme. So most of them are past Sylph Cups, except for finals and semifinals will be open Great League draft style, where you and your teammates can't share any Pokemon. So everybody would have to have a unique team. But
So,
for the regular meta rounds, everyone can have whatever Pokemon they want.
all right, so let's take those ones first. And I think that when I looked, it seemed like you had some of the particular Sylph metas kind of set aside as the ones that you were using, right?
Yes, we definitely wanted everyone to kind of have an idea of what metas we would be doing so they can kind of start practicing with them and start reviewing what old teams they might have used and seeing what's relevant now and what's changed. And PvPoke was a godsend in this process and went ahead and put up all of the past metas on the site for us to look at. And that was really cool.
And
So
obviously, you have this information posted, but just for the viewers, what are the metas that we will be looking at?
so for round one, we're going to be doing forest, and everyone's probably got a team for forest since we're deep in that right now. And round two is going to be Rose Cup. We're really focusing on the season 2 metas because they're relevant for everybody, and not everyone might have been playing for season 1, although it's probably safe to assume that most of us have been. But we're really focusing on season 2. That's not to say a season 1 meta might pop up. Like originally we weren't going to do timeless, but we the teams rioted and we threw it in there. So the hard number of how many different metas we can do is going to be determined by how many people sign up and how many rounds we have. So we can't say for sure, but we did post a list of of metas that we're looking at. It was mainly all of the season 2 ones.
So how did you just decided mostly based on the ones that were more recent because you figured those would be the ones that people who are currently participating would have the most prepared for?
Right. We really wanted to make it accessible for everybody.
Have you, when you were considering it, did any of you go back and kind of look at those old metas and see if anything had broken in the meantime, whether there was anything weird? Like I think last season for Mirror, there was like Gardevoir had been tweaked to the point with adding Charm that it had kind of broken the, was it Nightmare meta, something to that effect? Have you guys looked at any
Yeah.
of that? Was that a consideration
One
or?
thing we did go ahead and shoot down was we just excluded all shadows for right now. We spoke to Palamon about it, who's a member of our server, and has been for a while, about what Sylph would do with the tournament, like Rose Cup. He was like, just so you know, if Sylph ran Rose Cup again, shadows would be banned. So we just went ahead and axed that right off the bat.
You said that the number of rounds is going to be determined based on the actual interest shown. Do you have like a list of the priority you're going to show each one, or are you just waiting to let people know until you've got that set so that everybody's on the level playing field?
We're actually putting them through RNG. We're picking them at random. It's going to be super fair. I can tell you that we did announce Forest and Rose will be the first two because we wanted to be able to start moving it along when the tournament starts. So We extended deadlines to register until Wednesday, so there's still time to get in there. And we ask that your teams for Forest and Rose be submitted by Wednesday also. Any metas past that don't need to be worried about quite yet. We'll announce what round three's meta will be when round one starts. So people can start thinking about that as soon as they knock out their
Battle
round.
servers, you say it's double elimination, so that probably informed your decision to make people submit their first two teams right away, and that if for whatever reason they lose two, they haven't used a whole lot of time and energy to input teams for like round 4 or 5 or
Right.
whatever you're going to see.
Exactly. It's heartbreaking when you spend all your time like drafting your open Great League teams and then you get knocked out in the first round.
Right. What was your number last time?
Like, we thought it would be this small thing, maybe between our local groups, and I think we wound up having maybe it was in the 50s, 60s.
Okay, 50s. Okay. And this time, are you capping it? Do you have any expectations for where you're going to land on how many people you're going to have?
We're potentially capping at 64. We're not quite there yet, but we're not far off.
Okay.
I don't see it going past 64 by Wednesday, but I don't know. It might.
All right. And if someone wants to register, do you have to register and input your teams in one step? Do you have to be ready to roll, or can
you can register your team of 5 in your server right now and then wait to submit your teams until the last minute if you really want to. Please don't. Please submit it before. But yeah, the deadline's Wednesday for both. I'd get your team in there as soon as possible and then work out your lineups after.
Okay, perfect. All these things that I can tell my team, so it's no big deal.
You could just tell them to watch this.
Just watch this. As you said, when you get to you said semifinals and finals, it's open Great League draft.
Right.
And when you say draft, is it draft in the sense that you are still just putting together a team locally that you are unique, or is it there's going to be the 4 remaining teams and they all have to choose between the same set of Pokemon, so it's unique between those 4 teams?
So only your server's team has to draft between themselves. So it'll be unique Pokemon for your server's team.
All right. So when you say draft, it's fairly akin to what we did on Go Stadium, just without the ban list.
Right.
We would be able to put the team together however we want to. There's not like a formal draft process. It's just
just 30 unique Pokemon for your server.
Okay. Any other details that you think are helpful for people to know before they sign up?
So I reformatted the server today. There's a whole bots section. You can click bots announcements. And I feel like I did a pretty decent job of explaining everything in that post right there. It's just like a big long thing that kind of goes down the list of what it is and what you should expect and how to ask for any questions anybody might have. So if they need help, send them right there, and then tag bot staff. Because right now everyone's only messaging me. and it's a ton, but there's like 10 people, 12 people on this team, and all of us can answer your question. It's all of the admins from Arkansas PvP and then a core team from Colliseum.
All right. Well, I feel like I understand it better now. Anything else that I need to know?
No, I think it's just make sure all of your server members are in there so they see the announcements and that they give themselves the Battle of the Servers role so that they see my or any other admin's tags. Other than that, it's just going to be straightforward. When the bracket's live, you look at the bracket and find your opponent. Both of your teams will be listed there. You do the fights, and then you report your score in the score reporting channel, and that's it.
And you said, are you guys using Challenge like Go Stadium does, or are you using something else? What do you use?
No, I think part of the appeal from our first one is that it was really simple. Everything was in one place on one spreadsheet. Our teams are there, our scores were there, your opponents were there, and you didn't have to go to 19 different places to see your opponents or your teams. I think being user-friendly is just a really important part of this to make it enjoyable. And right now it seems overwhelming, and we're definitely trying to fix that. And there's been a learning curve for some of the people trying to input their teams. And they have fixed that with a really nice instructional video that they've posted in our announcements channel. So if you have trouble entering your teams, give that video a watch and it should break it down for you.
Got that, AJ? The information in this video originally appeared on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/jigglydad. Join me, Alyssa Rose, and Scientist D every Sunday for Between Two Bellsprouts, and check out my other streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays and whenever fine jigglies are sold.
Jiggity,